Okay, I just sent it to all of you.
We're live.
Okay.
That's good, we're live.
Oh, well, we're back again due to technical difficulties. Somehow the meeting ended. We are discussing houses, and we've had funny technical things today. I think it's due to the storm. But
Randy ran off the road. Did you know that?
huh?
Randy Brock.
Went
I
off.
did not know
Yeah,
that.
he crashed his car.
He's
Oh,
okay.
He's okay.
Is he okay? He is, but yeah, I had a rough
His
ride.
car isn't, right?
We're discussing a bill that the Senate passed earlier this session. And with Ben regarding, I don't know, I'll let you take it over, what bill it was and.
Sure. Ben Obrowski for the Office of Legislative Counsel. We're discussing S-127, which was previously passed by the Senate. It's entitled an act relating to the procedures and review of community supervision for low revocation or interruption appeals. It is currently in House Corrections and being discussed. There were some changes to the portion that Senate Judiciary and the Senate had passed. But the major substantial change is the addition of changes to the Department of Corrections Monitoring Commission. And that is currently outlined in 28 VSA section 123. And a lot of the discussion has come through testimony that now that the commission is starting to meet, there are some questions about the scope of the commission's work, what their powers are, and in relation to the department itself and to the commissioner specifically. So a lot of the changes that are being contemplated in House Corrections are to clarify the role of the commission and its relationship with the department. And I can go into some of those changes, at least the testimony of that's being discussed, but there's been no formal action yet. It's being taken up this afternoon, I believe, for a final vote.
Well, is this something, we want to add to this bill?
Well, this portion is essentially unrelated to the furlough interrupt section. There were some changes to that, but it was really, there was testimony from the Defender General, from the department, and there seems to, based on the testimony, seems to be consensus on the furlough changes, and mostly having to do with the time period of 90 to 180 days. The testimony is that it would be okay to bring it back to the 90 days. There's been testimony from the judiciary that there's been progress to eat away at the backlog, and that combined with the venue transfer provisions, there's no opposition from the testimony that reverting back to the 90 days would be problematic. And there's a revision to the definition of absconding and some exceptions that would.
That I talked with Representative Emmons about. It's due to the fact that absconding is much broader than we thought it was when we were taking up the bill. Absconding can be not where you were, where you're supposed to be when the probation officer checked, and you said you were at the job and you weren't at home.
So that is going to be
Any violation, well, Ben can explain it, I don't know. If it's-
Yeah,
I thought we went through all of that on another bill last year or the year before.
Right.
I thought we
That
did.
it wasn't going to be absconding if you just went to town to get a
right.
pack of
Right.
cigarettes, but it was, if more serious,
Right.
certainly
Yeah.
across the
Tended to-
state line, we're
Yeah.
not.
I thought we took care of that, and I don't know why it's a problem.
Yeah, the discussion, this comes through when the portion of the bill that discusses technical violations,
Yeah.
what they shall mean, and then there are sort of the exceptions to what constitutes a per se abuse of discretion. And absconding was one of those per se exceptions to that standard. And so there was testimony from the department and from the Defender General to try and capture, I think, both of their interests in the language that's now made its way into the proposed bill. And because there was discussion from the committee about, well, what if someone crossed over state lines to seek medical care? And whether or not, you know, something that was previously, basically, if that instance could be brought into a future case where absconding is considered. And so the language that's being proposed is to try and clarify that it's a current violation of absconding, for absconding, that can't bring in previous instances that may have been excused or not prosecuted essentially. And so the language in that portion is reflective of testimony from both the Defender General and the department to try and get it right. And then, you know, but so there does, based on the testimony, seem to be consensus over that language and the other considerations that this committee had seen before. But what would be totally new to Senate Judiciary is the Corrections Monitoring Commission and revisions to that. And you know, Representative Emmons may be able to speak better as to why S-127 is used for this, but you know, I think
She doesn't have any other view.
Yeah, and she probably asked me because we looked at it, when we formed the commission, we looked at it in GovOps because we do force commissions. That's why she asked me.
And there's been a lot of testimony from the commissioner of the department, also the chair of the commission, just to try and, you know, get the scope of the commission right. I think that there were some concerns over the fact that the department was supposed to provide not just the administrative and technical assistance, but also the legal assistance to the commission, and some potential conflicts that may arise.
I don't remember the commission working on it. Your committee did it, so maybe it'd be best if your committee looked at the changes to the commission.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
No, I'll do it this afternoon. What time are they voting tonight?
I believe it's at 1 o'clock.
Well, it'll take them 5 days to get here, so it's not much.
Okay. All right, we'll look at it this
I mean, I don't think
afternoon.
they're gonna put a stage of passage on this bill.
No, probably not.
No.
Okay, all right, so we'll look at it. Okay.
I'd be looking to concur with further proposals.
Yeah,
On
okay.
both, so not get into a conference committee over this.
Yeah.
But I did talk with representatives about the 90 days. Matt was emphatic that they couldn't do it, you know, so he was okay with 180, and then it looks like they can do it because of the change of venue.
I guess that's what Judge Zame testified to.
Yeah, the testimony did reflect that from the judiciary perspective, Defender General and the department, that everyone felt it would be manageable.
All right, thank you, Ben, on both bills. I wish they were all as simple as $3.99.